Well, 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 what do we have here? We got ourselves a non-looks maxer, I reckon. You best get out of here, boy. You best get out of here, you ugly boy. Get. Looks maxing. Aura maxing. Gym maxing. Social maxing. Dopamine maxing. Retard maxing.
Say the line ChatGPT gave you will sound epic.
Yeah, no, I don't know about that.
Do it. I swear you will sound really hip and cool.
It's starting to feel like we're tweeting ourselves like RPG characters.
Epic.
Really?
No, you sound dumb as shit.
It seems to me like instead of trying to become better people, we're starting to ask ourselves, how do I increase my outer appearance at the expense of my inner beauty? And in turn, I think that's starting to make us shitty people.
Speak for yourself, dumbass.
You disagree?
Yes.
Okay, well, let me help you understand.
Testing. Testing, can you hear me? Testing.
Okay, it seems to me like everyone these days, everyone thinks that maximization good. No. Maximization bad. Yeah, maximization ignore cost. See how ignore cost is under the word maximization? That's why, because it's under maximization. Duh. Optimization good. Why optimization good? Because it control cost. Everyone seems to think that maximization is good because you're maximizing everything. But no. For example, too little water, he dead. You know what happens when you don't drink enough water? You die. Yeah, you die. What did this guy do? He ripped ass. He H2O too hard. Too much waters. Well, he dead. This guy died too. This guy died because he drank too much water. So, too little water, dead. Too much water, also dead. Too little, bad. Too much, bad. This guy, look at him. He's all like, wait, I'm so sad. I'm so sad because I have no friends and I want friends, but I don't have any friends. This guy, you can see it on his face. He's not very happy. Why is he not very happy? Because he don't have no friends either. I just don't understand. It appears to me like this man has a multitude of friends. No, he doesn't. These guys don't fucking care about this guy. What the hell are you talking about? I don't understand. Well, listen, okay? Let me explain it to you this way. How many of y'all could be in a group of your friends and go, ooh, daddy, I made up stinky poopy oopy doopy in my diaper. Ooh. And all your friends aren't like, this guy's a fucking weirdo. Let's get out of here. None. All right, next. I kind of went on a little tangent there about friends and stuff, but I digress. What we're actually talking about is self-improvement. Yeah, it always comes with microtransactions. You know what microtransactions are? Yeah, I bet you do. Because you're fucking new age retard, and all you know is apps, Play Store, iPhone, social media, microtransaction, video game. That's all y'all know. These are fucking idiots. You don't think I'm talking about you? I am. I'm talking about you. Yeah. Okay, everything comes at a cost. You have too much of this. You have too much self-awareness. You know what happens? You become a virtuous asshole, okay? You're like, oh, sorry, I can't drink alcohol because it's bad for you. Shut the fuck up. I think you get my point. Everything comes at a cost, and you might not see those costs immediately. They're kind of hidden, kind of like microtransactions. And then until you've gone too far and you've done too much, then you see the cost. You see how much it's costing you. Anyway, I'm moving on. Okay, so everything can be too much or too little, right? This guy over here, he's like, I sad. Because he's too little. This guy? I don't know what he's doing. All I know is he had too much of something and he might possibly be dead. Okay? This guy looks like he's dead because he did too much. Bottom line, end of video. Thanks for watching. Really, what is more important here in this? Optimal. You want to optimize. You want to be the optimal person. Because you see this guy, he's glowing. He's freaking glowing. He looks like a stud. Everyone's like, wow, I want to be like him. Okay, so basically, what is my point? All right, my point is this: washing your hands. Right? It's hygienic. We should all wash our hands occasionally, even though science says that if we don't wash our hands, we're going to be more resilient to bacteria. But you know, you don't want to walk around with sticky, gross hands. It's nasty. You know, you like touch people and like whatnot, and then those people are gonna be like, "Ooh, dude, your fucking hands stink. Your hands smell like dirty butthole." Okay, so we obviously wash them. But what happens if you like wash them too much? Well, that becomes a mental disorder. You are now disordered. Your life is disordered because you can't stop washing your hands because you think it's gonna do something for you, but it's not. People really only need to wash their hands like a good one time a day. Unless you're dealing with raw meats. If you're dealing with raw meats, I would wash your hands more often than one. Anyway, my point is, don't touch raw meat. Duh. And if you do, then wash your hands. Duh. That's not my point. You already got my point. I don't need to spell it out for you. So, you know, everything can have too much, right? You know, you got too much confidence, you're now arrogant, right? You're too self-aware. Well, now you're a fucking cunt. That's what you are. You're just fucking cunt. And then, you know, too much beauty effort. You're just gonna be stuck, confined by the unachievable standards that you've set for yourself, that you will never achieve ever in your entire life because you fucking suck ass. But what you can do is you can optimize. Maximize bad, optimize good. Why does beauty matter in the first place? Well, before I can get into maxing culture, looks maxing and whatnot, I need to be honest about something. I'm not going to sit here and do the fake enlightened thing where I pretend like beauty doesn't matter. Beauty does matter. Beauty affects people. So it's really important for me to make that very clear before I continue on with the video. Oh, Squiddy, you're so beautiful. I like kissing your beautiful face. What is the goal of beauty? Only my dog 5 knows. Ain't that right? Only my dog 5 knows, yeah. What is it? Tell. You're almost there. Okay. Hey, you did good. You did good. The goal is to present a facade of attraction before true attraction can be gauged. And what do I mean by that? Before true attraction can be gauged through character, all we see is the visual aspect of someone, which is their beauty. They either have a lot of it, or they have some of it, or they have none of it. The truth is, you don't actually know, and you won't know if you're actually attracted to someone based on their appearance. But you decide anyway. And that's the facade. Okay, so now that we know what the goal of beauty is, I think it's important to define beauty itself. Beauty, simply put, applied to humans, is a heuristic. What is heuristic, Cozy? Can I have heuristic? I want heuristic. No, dumbass. It's not like that, okay? A heuristic is just a mental shortcut. So whenever you look at a fat fuck like this, you think, dumb, addicted, low value, lazy. We don't want to have to put in effort to actually find out what's going on with this guy. So we just assume, we apply a heuristic to him. And heuristics, it's not like we choose to do it. It just kind of happens automatically. But we're assuming these things about him based on his appearance. That's the shortcut. And this happens subconsciously. You aren't even fully aware of it. Your brain is working in the background. Now, sometimes you are making conscious judgments about people, but the interesting thing is that we actually do this behind the scenes. Now, what about for an attractive person, right? So take me for example, right? You apply a heuristic to me as well, except it's kind of the opposite. We call it the halo effect. Instead of assuming dumb, addicted, lazy, you think smart, funny, wealthy, big dick, tight butthole, right? Just the standard. So my point is this. Because we're dumb human brain and we're vulnerable to heuristic, beauty does matter. When people first see us, they assume, whether it's correct or not, the traits that they are applying to us are correct solely based on our outward appearance. So, with that said, beauty is simply just the visual domain of attraction, right? Before anybody knows if they're actually attracted to you, they just see this. They just see this stud muffin. And they automatically assume awesome things about you. Friendly, good family values. What you don't see, though, until you actually put effort into getting to know the person, which doesn't happen often, you come to find out that this person is fake, broken, a sociopath, a sociopath, a sociopath, a psychopath. And then at that point you're like, well, my boy tricked me. Then you realize, shit, I don't like this guy. This guy crazy. This guy fooled me with looks. This guy made me think I like this guy, but I don't like this guy. And you know, I think that's where like maxing culture starts to misunderstand the objective. Because being like this, looking like that, ain't gonna make up for all this. It doesn't work that way. If you're like this, that'll get you nowhere. You comfy?
Fuck off.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay.
Just kidding. Come back, Senpai. My arm is starting to hurt.
Hey, don't worry. Okay? This will just take a second, I promise. It's like a couple lines.
Okay, Daddy.
Okay. Is this person attractive? The answer's yes. If you said no, I would love to see what you look like. Okay? And by attractive, I need to clarify. Is this person pretty? Is this person beautiful? Answer's yes. Okay? We all know that this person here looks pretty.
So being like, I'm broke, I can't afford to sub, that doesn't really track. What you mean to say is, I'm so irresponsible with my money, I can't support the entertainment that I enjoy.
What about now? The answer's no. No. Why? Why? Because this person sucks ass. And I'm not talking about licking ass, okay? We can all enjoy a good ass licking, alright? I'm talking about sucking ass. You ever sucked ass? Have you ever sucked a fart out of someone's ass? It is the worst thing you could possibly do ever. And that comes from someone who's been there and done that, okay? On the receiving end.
Dude, really? I'm not sure you're cut out for this.
Shut up. You try and do this. See how good you are at doing this.
Gladly.
Okay, fine. Fine. Can't do that, bud. Alright. Have fun.
I guess now would be a good time to show you guys what happened to my original face.
Get out! Fuck this shit! Oh! Fuck it! Shit! Fuck, Joffrey. We did it, Joff! Oh.
500 million billion likes and I'll post the full 30 minutes video.
Am I pointing yet?
Nothing yet, I'd keep trying.
Oh, I'm coming. I'm coming. Oh. 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 What about now?
Still nothing, but don't give up.
Oh. Okay. Looks maxing. What even the heck even is it even? Webster says, the art of turning good habits into obsessive behaviors and crippling social anxiety. Sounds accurate. Wait. What? What? Efforts, sometimes extreme, young men take to look more attractive. Does that mean that this is the real definition? Yeah, it is. It is the real definition. The other one was my definition. It's inherently incorrect because last time I checked, young women or women in general, and also men in general, not just young men, looks max. But let's disregard that. We're just going to pay attention to the important part. Efforts, sometimes extreme. Well, that isn't so bad, right? I mean, even I take part in some extreme behaviors. I fast, sometimes I even fast for up to 3 days. Granted, I don't do it for looks. I do it as a discipline. But there's a fine line between fasting as a discipline and injecting foreign materials into your face. Okay? So, looks maxing. What is it really? Is it going to the max to improve on your looks? I would say so. With that said, okay, you can look better, all right, without bone smashing. I've never bone smashed in my life. I've never injected any kind of peptides. I've never done none of that. These are the things you need to do. You don't need to inject shit into your face. You don't need to inject shit into anything, and you don't need to bone smash. For the love of God, you don't need to bone smash. Looks maxing seems to think that attraction is a beauty problem. No. Attraction is not a beauty problem. In fact, beauty is just the smallest little sliver of the problem of attraction. Looks maxing starts from the front end. It starts from the outer appearance. But that's counterintuitive. You're working backwards at that point. You need to start from the back end. You need to work on the person on the inside. And then who you look like on the outside will follow. It's kind of like a package deal. When someone has a really good character, it's very difficult for them to even look ugly. Because their character drives them to have good habits that allow them to be beautiful. There is only one reason for someone to want to look beautiful. It is to create a facade of attraction before true attraction can be gauged through character. Recognize these boys? You might not, but your girl definitely does. So what's the deal with these boys? Well, the consensus around these boys is they're ugly cute. So they're ugly, yeah. We can gather that. They're not very attractive. But what makes them cute? Their character. Yeah, their character. And, it's not entirely fair because they're actors. And I'm not saying that these people are good in real life. I'm saying that the way that they portray themselves as the characters that they play in the films that they're in is attractive. But it still goes to show that you can be an ugly person and women will still love you as long as you have a good character. Attraction is not a beauty problem. It's a character problem. Don't be fooled, guys. This man has indoctrinated you to believe that being beautiful grants powers. And in some regards, that's true, but much less so than he puts off. Why does Clav get women? Money, fame, power, all attained through the cult-like ideology that preys on the weak. And here's the hard truth. Any woman that strives for a man with those qualities should be avoided like the plague. They are a virus that is innately infectious, as the male desire to attain beautiful things is hard to ignore.
WTF are you talking about?
What do you not get?
I guess the woman virus part.
Okay, so you bring up a good point. Okay, so in the same way that men leverage fame, money, and power to attain beautiful women use their beauty to attain men with money, fame, and power. And it's this dichotomy It makes people shitty. We need to stop doing that.
Tough shit. I love money and power and I love beautiful women. So suck my big fat plastic cock.
You know what? Don't listen to me, because I don't know nothing. All I know is my doctor told me I have boogers in my ass. Because I'm just a big old dumb idiot. Okay. Just in case some of y'all are still in denial, I am the same, if not more, visually attractive than Clav. And I get that that's an opinion-based thing, but just for the purpose of this segment, we're going to assume that that's objectively true. Do I have women flocking around me? No, I don't. I'm not particularly wealthy. I'm not famous. I'm not necessarily in a power position. And that's the reality of the situation. Women are more concerned with survival than they are with having arm candy. And if they so happen to have arm candy, that's the cherry on top. To prove my point, take a look at these guys. They get the same results without the beauty. So what is the common factor? Well, it's clout, of course. It ensures survival in this day and age. Which brings me to my next topic. Lonely women. A lot of these women in this day and age, they have completely delusional standards. Instead of putting time, loyalty, and dedication into someone that they saw potential in, they would rather have the perfect man now. And the sad reality is, well, at least for them, is that they will die sad and alone, because that perfect man will never arrive. We have not outgrown the insights of the great philosophers before us. So to end this video, I'd like to provide some thoughts of the giants of which shoulders we stand.
I'm a retard.